I'm going to show you today the most important muscle that you need to strengthen if you want to get long-term back pain relief. Now I say long-term because if you just stretch an area or give it a rub, it feels looser, but it comes back. Of course it's going to come back because we're not addressing the underlying cause of the problem. So you've got all these surface exercises like a stretch or something odd movement you see on the floor, but ultimately that's a level 1 exercise which is giving you symptom relief short term. We're going to move on to the next level where we're really strengthening something to give you a long-term solution. Now this muscle I'm talking about is called the glute medius muscle. It goes from your tip of your hip up to the iliac crest here. So basically it is the glute medius muscle in there. This is the glute maximus muscle, which is the main buttock muscle. The glute medius muscle is in here, and it provides a really important function, which is to stabilize this whole area. The lowest part of your spine, your pelvis, and your hip. The reason why it stabilizes it is because if you are on one leg and you start taking a step, if you have weakness in here, you'll drop. The glute medius muscle provides stability through here so that you can lift one leg off the floor, and rather than your pelvis dropping, it contracts and pulls you back into a straighter position. So the exercise we're going to run through today, and the benefit of this, of course, is that if you've got your pelvis loose and dropping each time you take a step, which I see on many people, then you're getting this constant kink in the spine, instability through this area, and over time that instability and weakness will start to pinch the joints, aggravate the nerves, create disc damage and degeneration, and just increase back pain over and over again. So let's not just continue stretching out a painful area, let's strengthen it and get you super stable through the pelvis, the hip, the lowest part of your spine. I've got 3 exercises for you. They start from easy to medium, and then the last exercise is the third one we're going to start incorporating, which is a real strengthening exercise. Let's run through them now. So as I say, the glute medius muscle's main function is to stop your pelvis from dropping when you're on one leg. Now what we were going to do as an exercise is simply just that. We're going to stand on one leg, so bring the other leg up off the floor, and if you want you can hold onto a wall if you're able just to stand with one leg up and balance, that's fine. And you're going to simply hold that for 30 seconds. The idea here is that you're really contracting that glute medius hard in an isometric fashion, so a still hold rather than the muscle moving. You're going to feel a burn, an ache starting to build up in this area. Once you've done 30 seconds, I want you then to switch to the other leg, and again you're going to hold that one for 30 seconds. So we've worked this glute medius muscle in a static isometric contraction. Now we're going to start working it in a concentric and eccentric way. So you're going to stand on one leg, hold onto the wall if you need, and then you're going to drop your pelvis down. So you're dropping down this way, which is lengthening out that glute medius muscle, and then you're contracting the glute medius muscle in a concentric shortening contraction to bring yourself up to there, and then all the way down, and then up to there. So you can see this pelvis is moving side to side in this sort of way, so all the way down, all the way up, but because your leg is staying the same, you're stretching out the glute medius muscle and then contracting it and bringing it down. So you're stretching it out there, contracting it to bring your pelvis back up. I want you to do this for a good 10 to 15 reps, full range of motion, slow movement, and then switch to the other leg. So again, same thing, you're going to drop your pelvis all the way down and then bring your pelvis all the way up. Again, if you want to hold onto a wall, that's absolutely fine. This is not a balancing exercise. This is simply a contraction exercise of the muscle. So holding on a wall doesn't make it less effective. So the third and final exercise for this glute medius muscle is a contraction in this position. So again, you're going to lift your leg all the way up and contract that glute medius muscle and then lower it down to here so the muscle can lengthen. Now, what I want you to really think about here is as you're on your side in this position, don't just do it like this, but you actually want to point your toe down. And if your leg's straight and you point your toe down, you're internally rotating your femur, which means that you're targeting the glute medius muscle to a higher extent than if you sneak your toe up, because that's not all glute medius. So turn your toe slightly down, and then you're going to go up as high as you can. You'll feel a hard contraction in there, pause at the top, and down. And then all the way up as high as you can, and back down. Now, if you're flexible and you've got a decent range of motion in the hip, you'll probably go higher than me, but go as high as you can, contract and back down. This is actually going to be a surprisingly difficult exercise, but it really targets that glute medius muscle. You're going to do 10 to 20 repetitions on one side, 10 to 20 on the other side. Now, rather than choosing one of these exercises and doing 3 sets of it, I want you to do 1 set of each exercise, because then we're going to get a variety of strengthening throughout the glute medius with these 3 different exercises. So once you've got that glute medius muscle super strong, super stable, what you'll find is you can stand for longer periods of time without back pain building up. You can walk for longer periods of time without back pain building up. And every time you take a step, your pelvis is super strong and stable, and you've not got that micro drop here or just a weaknessing, a fatigue building up in the back, the sacroiliac joint, the pelvis. It's going to stay strong and stable. And then when you move on to those other exercises I've shown you in many other videos, which mobilize the spine, stretch the spine, those exercises are able to really take hold and control the progression of your back, rather than everything sneaking back in again because you've got a weakness in this glute medius muscle. So give it a go. Comment down here so I can see how you're getting on with it, and I'll help you how I can.